Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe. Nitai Gaura Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Nitai Gaura Hare Bol. Shri Radha Madhava Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. So, we are reading from Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Madhya-līlā, chapter 21, the opulence and sweetness of Krishna, and we read text 84. Krishna Kai Ebramanda Panchashat. No, Krishna Kai Krishna Kai Ebramanda Panchashat Koti Yojana. Doesn't work out, huh? Atik Shudra Tate Toma Chari Badana. Atik Shudra Tate Tomara Chari Badana. Oh, I don't know why it's like this. What's the melody? Because the verse, the two lines, they have different numbers of syllables. I don't know why it's like that. Anyway, so someone wants to chant, even though it might not work out perfectly. Someone. Krishna Kai Ebramanda Panchashat Koti Yojana. Atik Shudra Tate Tomar Chari Vadana. Mataji's? Okay, good. Krishna Kahe. Krishna said, Ebramanda, this universe, Panchashat Koti Yojana, 4 billion miles. Pancha, aber Pancha ist auch 5 eigentlich, oder? Panchashat Koti. Nee, das ist mir schon klar, aber trotzdem steht im Bengali. Okay. Atik Shudra. Very small. Tate. Therefore. Tomara. Your. Chari Vadana. 4 faces. Krishna said, your particular universe extends for 4 billion miles. Therefore, it is the smallest of all the universes. Consequently, you have only 4 heads. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, one of the greatest astrologers of his time, gives information from Siddhanta Shiromani that this universe measures, what is this, 200 million, 969 billion. What is after a billion? Trillion. And after a trillion is a quadrillion, or? Huh? So 18 quadrillion, 712 trillion, 69 billion, 200 million, times 8 miles. This is the circumference of this universe. According to some, this is only half of the circumference. Text 85. Kona Brahmanda Shatta Koti, Kona Laksha Koti, Kona Niyuta Koti, Kona Koti Koti, Some of the universes are 1 billion yojanas, some 1 trillion, some 10 trillion, and some 100 trillion yojanas. Thus, they're almost unlimited in area. A yojana equals 8 miles. It's in the purport. Text 86. Brahmandana rupa brahmara sharira badana e rupe pali ami pramanderagana. According to the size of the universe, there are so many heads on the body of Brahma. In this way, I maintain innumerable universes, Brahmandas. Ekapada viput ihar nai pariman, tripat viputi rakeba kare pariman. No one can measure the length and breadth of 1/4 of my energy. Who can measure the 3/4 that is manifested in the spiritual world? Text 88. Tasya pare paravyoma, tasya pare paravyoma, tripat putam sanatanam, amritam shashvatam nityam anantam paramang padam. Beyond the river, Viraja, is a spiritual nature which is indestructible, eternal, inexhaustible, and unlimited. It is the supreme abode consisting of 3/4 of the Lord's opulences. It is known as Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. Purport. This is a verse from the Padma Purana recited here by Lord Krishna. Text 89. Tabe Krishna Pramare Dilena Vidaya Krishnara Vibhuti Swarup Jananana Yaya. In this way, Lord Krishna bade farewell to the four-headed Brahma of this universe. We may thus understand that no one can calculate the extent of Krishna's energies. Text 90. Triyadishvara Shabdera Arta Guda Arahaya Trishabde Krishnera Tina Loka Kaya. Translation. There's a very deep meaning in the word Tridaishvara, which indicates that Krishna possesses 3 different lokas or natures. Purport. The word Triyad Ishvara means proprietor of the 3 worlds. There are 3 worlds of which Krishna is the supreme proprietor. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suridam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. The sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. Bhagavad Gita 5.29. The word Sarvaloka means all 3 worlds, and the word Maheshwara means the supreme proprietor. Krishna is the proprietor of both material and spiritual worlds. The spiritual world is divided into 2 portions, Goloka Vrindavan and the Vaikunthas. The material world is a combination of universes, unlimited in number. Homa Yajna timirandhasya gyananjana shalakaya chakshumilitam dina tasmai shri gurave namah. Mukham garoti vachalam pangung langayate girim yat kripatamahang vande shri gurun dinataranam. Shri Chaitanya manobistam stapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa gadamayam dadati swapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, 1 second. I want to just check something here. So now the internet works. So 21. Okay, Hare Krishna. So, something technical here. We start with the... Okay. Anyway, so I'm a little bit confused. Doesn't mean Pancha 5? Pancha Shat. Maybe some of you understand. This is in Bengali, but maybe... Huh? Pancha Shat Koti Yojana. Pancha... Huh? Huh? What first? Pancha Shat? 65. Panchashat is 65. Yeah, Yojana is like the measurement, but in Koti is 1,000. No? But Panchashat, what does Panchashat mean? 60. Pancha is 5 and Shat 6. But then the translation doesn't work out at all because Panchashat Koti, he is translated with 4 billion. Huh?
4 billion kilometers.
No, yeah, but you mean that's already translated from Panchashat Koti to the 4 billion miles. Panchashat Koti measures 4 billion miles. Yeah, Prabhupada says here that 1 yojana equals 8 miles. So when you calculate that means 4 billion miles. And 4 billion miles are times 1.5, you have then the kilometers. Yes. Yes. So, okay, maybe some of you, super, you're good. Look this up in the 5th canto, find out, or in the 3rd also, now, what is the measurement of the diameter of the universe. Because as far as I remember, in Bhagavatam was said 500 million yojanas. So you can find this on the database quickly, should be no problem. Okay, so we start with this verse. So first thing interesting, that the universe extends for 4 billion miles. We just take this number now. 4 billion miles. 6, as I said, 6 billion kilometers. And it's the smallest universe. And it's actually, what does this extension mean? It means actually the diameter. Because in the Bhagavatam it said it's the diameter of the universe. So, and then Prabhupada quotes Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati in the purport, saying that the circumference, so it means like the umfang of this, because the universe is kind of a ball, no? So the circumference of that is, as I said before, this 18 quadrillion or whatever, trillion and then quadrillion yojanas, so you have to measure this also, multiply this with 8 miles. So then you have the circumference, so now we have the circumference and we have the diameter of the universe. So if we would now divide this circumference given by Bhaktisiddhanta according to Siddhanta Shiromani, we divide this through 3.14, which is pi, right? So we should have the same diameter. And everyone who was a little bit attentive now will say, no. No. Yeah, these are two different things here. So, yeah, Subar? Oh, was steht? Okay. Okay, 8. Ja, 8 mal 5. Okay. Aber genau, 500.000 yojanas. Yeah, exactly. So 500 million yojanas. 500 million yojanas says the Bhagavatam. You multiply this times 8 and you come to this number. But sometimes, that's my point now, it said 1 yojana is 12 kilometers. That's why in the German Bhagavatam it says 6 Milliarden Kilometer Durchmesser. Yeah, it's not so fixed that 1 yojana is, sometimes it's the span between 8 and 12, because it's an ancient measurement. But the other obscure thing is here that this 2 doesn't work out. Either like this or that, it doesn't work out. Yeah, because this according to this 18 quadrillion circumference, if yojanas, if you divide this through 3, you have still 6 quadrillion yojanas, which you have to multiply with 8, which gives a complete different diameter of the universe than this 4 billion miles. So this is the interesting point. And this is a point which many devotee scientists also, they think about. So what does that mean? So the important word in this purport was Siddhanta Shiromani. There are these, whereas Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati quotes from this Siddhanta Shiromani. And Siddhanta Shiromani is like a mathematical astronomical text, which gives, which has different measurements to the Bhagavatam. So we have, in one sense, in the, I wouldn't say Hindu, but let's say Vaishnava cosmologies which are out there, kind of two sets of information. One is Puranic and one is from this Siddhanta text, Siddhanta Shiromani and Surya Siddhanta. Yeah. And there's a difference. There's a difference. And why this is and how this is, we cannot understand this. And our devotee scientists also, they study this and they find this very interesting, because Siddhanta Shiromani is more empirical in that sense. It's full with mathematical formulas and very exact measurements of the distances between the planets, and how actually according to this text you can calculate the position of the planets. You cannot do this according to the Bhagavatam. But Prabhupada wanted us to figure it out how the Bhagavatam does also. This is very complicated. When Prabhupada translated the 5th canto, especially when he gave the order that we construct this TUVP, which is now called TUVP, he said, actually, we should figure out the cosmology of the Bhagavatam, and not just to show this fancy model, which they put now there in the main dome, right, with all the lokas, and then bring in Srimad-Bhagavatam information of Gopa Kumar traveling through the universe. This is kind of the source text for the details of this Bhagavatam cosmology next to the 5th canto. But Prabhupada wanted to use it in a very practical way. And he said how to calculate the position of the planets, especially the position of the moon, the phases of the moon, things like this. This is practical, this is astronomy, right? Not just some cosmological, more or less, it sounds more mythological information, very practical, because this is what in ancient times the purpose of math and astronomy was, to calculate the position of the planets, which is very important for all of us. We all work in this temple according to moon calendar. So for us it's very important. When is Ekadashi? When are the appearance days? Today, right? A very, very important day. This is fixed through this astronomical text since thousands and thousands and thousands of years. But this is where they get the information from, and this is where the ancient brahmanas, when they knew that, they were calculating. They were observing to some degree. Yes, of course, you can see, but still you need the numbers how to calculate. Because I don't know if you can see so far. Of course you can see, but it's different how to measure just by seeing. They have the mathematical information, and according to them they can calculate. And so the Bhagavatam has a different view on that, right? Stephen said, okay, it's the view of the demigods of the universe. They see more subtle things, because you don't see Svarga, you don't see Mahaloka or Chandaloka, Brahmaloka. You don't see all that. You don't see Bhumandala. We don't see Bhumandala. So in that sense, at least there are two different views on the universe, and even though these numbers might be different, what to do? What to do? What can we say? But yeah, because it's said when Prabhupada gave this 5th canto and devotees were studying that and reading that, something became doubtful. How is this? Because this is completely different than what we observe or what we learn in school or in university or things like this. But then it's shown that the conflict between the empirical and the revealed, so to say, of the Bhagavatam was not just now that we have, like, from the Western point of view, the empirical mathematics and all this, which seem to be in opposition to the Bhagavatam. This is already thousands of years old, because Siddhanta Shiromani, Surya Siddhanta, these are very ancient texts. So this discussion is there already since a long, long time. But still, at least for those of us who might be a little bit more empirical inclined, it's interesting that Bhaktisiddhanta quotes this information, right? Because the universe of the Bhagavatam with this 500 billion miles, 500 billion million yojanas. This is the number, right? This is the number. Yeah? Completely confuses me. 500 million yojanas, says the Bhagavatam. And however you calculate this then with miles or whatever, 500 million yojanas. This is what the Bhagavatam says. It's actually very small. Actually, it's very small. Okay, compared to what? Everything is relative in this world. Of course, it's not small. To any human experience, it's huge. It's huge. But according to like modern information, where they calculate in light years and millions and billions of light years, what is a light year? It's not time, right? Light year is not a measurement of time. Light year is a measurement of distance. It's the distance light travels in 1 year. And light travels, what is it, 300,000 kilometers per second or something? What was it? Huh? Who knows? 2? Was it 2 or 3? Whatever. Take 2. 200,000 kilometers in a second. Your Bugatti Veyron has no chance. You think this is fast? This is fast. So 2, 3, whatever, 100,000 kilometers per second. 1 year long. How many seconds are in 1 year? This is 1 light year. This is a huge number. And they speak on millions and billions of light years. So these are like numbers which are not to comprehend at all, right? So compared to that, 500 million yojanas is very small, and this should be the whole universe. Anyway, then it's interesting that here Bhaktisiddhanta gives information where the diameter of the universe is way bigger. Might not go into this direction of these light years, but it's way bigger, way bigger. And yeah, if we are confronted with this incomprehensible, we can be a little bit pacified when here the Caitanya-caritāmṛta says, we may thus understand that no one can calculate the extent of Krishna's energies. Okay, pass. Yeah. It's incredible. It's all incredible. So we cannot calculate. We cannot calculate that. So this was just to give a little bit context of the verse, actually. We should talk about this because it's written. I cannot read all that and then say, okay, today is Govardhan Puja. Krishna lifted the hill and all nice. Yes, it's nice. But still, we have to speak a bit on that also, no? To elucidate. And as far as I know, and of course I don't know much, but I did not find any information like this in other books of Prabhupada and Bhagavatam. It's kind of the only place where this number is given. This small passage of, so it's a very important text actually. You can remember that. Madhya-līlā 21:84. This is the place where it's written. So you can. And there is actually a YouTube channel from the Bhaktivedanta Institute. They kind of restarted the whole thing. And recently they brought out a video exactly about this topic. The controversy of Surya Siddhanta and Puranic cosmology. So it's an important topic for some. I don't know who is very much concerned about that. But if you are, you can go a little bit deeper into that. So then Prabhupada was speaking in the 90th verse of this chapter about the two different realities or realms in the spiritual world, Goloka and Vaikuntha. So this Goloka and Vaikuntha is very interesting because these are the two kinds of realities of the spiritual world, the two kinds of, and it's interesting, you have actually only one, Vrindavan, and many, many Vaikuntha. Yeah, so it's one against unlimited Vaikuntha realms. And the main difference is Oh, there are many differences, but the main difference is that in Vaikuntha, Krishna is residing there as Vishnu, as a Narayan, in a four-handed form, and in Vrindavan in a two-handed form, a human-like form. And both of these realms are eternal. And Goloka Vrindavan, even though it's the topmost, it's kind of a secret. It's kind of a secret. Because to get there, it needs a very special method of worship. And it's called Raga Marg, right? We call it Raga Marg. Not in opposition, but in difference to the Vidhi Marg or Vaidhi Bhakti. And Vaidhi Bhakti is kind of the common, normal way of understanding more or less any religion. Religions have certain rules and you have to abide by them and you practice that. And of course, in Vedic tradition, this is very rules-oriented with all the puja and regulations and the mantras and everything is very regulated. Huh? But any religion has lots of regulations and it seems, this is the way to go. You learn to abide by the rules, you learn to abide by the morals. In Christianity, they have like 10 commandments, like the main rules. So if you do all that, you're good. You're good. You're accepted by God. And in Christianity, you believe in God and in Jesus and all that, and all fine. In Islam also, they have their rules, and this is how religion works. This is religion. But the Raga Marg is very interesting because, of course, you have rules there too, but there's a very important ingredient, which, like the most important ingredient, as I said, is Raga. It means attraction or love. Something different in that sense, because it's something which you cannot measure so much. How do you decide? How does Krishna decide? How does anyone decide who will go to Krishna? How much raga or love do you have to have? Okay, I have my certain percentage of love now, I can go to Krishna. Is it enough now? How like charging your phone, how much percentage is already there? No? Okay, I reached it, now it's fine. How can this work out? No? Raga it's very difficult to measure. But even though it's difficult to measure, our tradition, which focuses completely on that, Rupa Goswami tries to measure it in one way, in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is a study on the whole Bhakti, and also on the psychology of Bhakti. And he qualifies, and he gives symptoms, and he gives Ashta Sattvika Bhava. There are like 8 symptoms of devotional ecstasies, which are shown in the body. And he gives 8 of them, right? When you, stamba means like you become inert, stamba means actually a pillar. You become like a pillar. Or if someone faints, or if you cry, or your hair standing on end and all that, your voice chokes. So he tries to kind of analyze bhakti and love itself to understand how far, to give the practitioner some guidelines to understand how far are you already, how developed are you, what is right and what is wrong. And it said only through this raga you can go to Goloka. So this is the point now, because all of us want to go to Goloka, Vrindavan. I don't know if we want, actually. Often in the beginning stage, actually, we don't know if we want. We don't know what we want. Because the spiritual desire is not really developed. But I would say, right from the onset, beginning in Goloka should be set as our goal. Even though we might not have the strongest desire for it. We might have a desire for moksha. In the beginning, like most of the devotees have a desire for liberation. They understand material world is not such a nice place and I'm suffering and something nice is there, spiritual. Okay, I want to do that. But anyway, in general, we can ask the question, why are we chanting Hare Krishna anyways? Why are we doing it, really, And actually, in the more, a bit developed stage, we should really see, I really want to be a servant of Krishna, particularly of Krishna in Vrindavan. So I want to go there. But what is needed is this love. Love to Krishna, this is what is needed. And then we can go to Goloka Vrindavan. And in Goloka Vrindavan, you can only go there if you become an associate of Krishna in this place. So we have to become like them. So we have to transform our whole identity to be qualified and allowed to live with them. Like here in this temple, Yeah, you cannot live here if you are not, or in this community, or in any community, in any country, more or less. Some are more strict, some are less strict. You have to, be qualified to live in this place. Yeah, so you have to make an Einbürgerungstest. Yeah, and you have to learn about the country and the history and the laws and all that. Then we give you a certificate. Okay, you qualified for living here. Right? There are some obligations. And in Vrindavan it's the same. In Goloka Vrindavan it's the same. Yeah? So this is why Rupa Goswami says you have to learn it from them. You have to learn from them how to live there, how to be there. Cannot go there when we are not like them. And then we are accepted in this more or less inner circle of Krishna's associates, which is very amazing. And this is why I said in the beginning it's a secret, because it's not revealed so easily in the Vedas. Yeah, it's in the Bhagavatam, of course. We are in Damodar month, which gives very amazing informations actually. That God is Krishna and he has a mother who runs after him with a stick and he likes that and he binds him and he plays like this. It's quite amazing to have a God like that. God normally is not understood being like this. Dancing with gopis and all that and playing and choking and having cows, being a cowherd boy. No religion has that. Or no religion has such an understanding of God. It's very unique. But from another point of view, it's very logical also. Why shouldn't it be like that? What should God be then, if not like this? No, what makes more sense than that? Like if you could choose, you are God, and you can choose how you want to be. Many years ago, like when I joined, I had one friend of mine. He was living with us also in the temple for some time. And he said to me, actually, once we went on book distribution and went back to the temple, and he said to me, actually, it's completely logical that Krishna is God, because how can it be otherwise? How can it be otherwise? No? Of course, Krishna can be whatever he likes to be, but this is how he chooses to be. Yeah? Playful, easy, nice, in a wonderful reality with all wonderful friends and sharing all his opulences and his love, and this is very logical. And the other side is the Aishwarya side, where he's God and he's worshipped and he's honored, and he enjoys that too. It's not that this is bad. Sometimes it sounds like this, that, Vishnu is kind of bored, not so nice. We don't want to go there. He doesn't want to be really like that. It's like, if you go to work every day and you might be even a CEO of a company, but still, I would rather be with my family or hang out with my friends. No, Vishnu enjoys that also. It's also great for him. Krishna enjoys being Vishnu, the controller of everything, and being super powerful and almighty and all knowing. It's also very enjoyable for him. But still, it's at Vrindavan, this is more enjoyable for him. No? So, and yeah, this is our understanding of God, and we want to be God conscious. We say Krishna conscious, so we should focus on Krishna in this way. Think about him, hear about him, engage with these topics, and really become, as I said, lovers of the Lord. Yeah, if you love someone, maybe you were once loving in your life someone, maybe not. No, never, Yeah. What is love? What is love? Yeah, what is it? Yeah. But everyone sometimes is that fell in love. Huh? I fall in love. I fell in love. You fall into it. You fall into it. It kind of overcame you. It's like, suddenly I'm in love. It's really like this. Huh? And that's why they say this is Cupid who shoots arrows. Suddenly you hit. Oh no, I'm hit. For brahmachari it's very bad. Of course, for brahmachari it's very bad. But for rest of the whole world, they love it. They love to get shot by Cupid. Because they're like, wow, it's like on drugs, This is great, Drugs are great. course, you don't take drugs, but drugs are great. They give you a great experience for some short time. Afterwards, of course, it's very, very bad. But for a short time, you cannot say this is bad. You're in ecstasy. The drug is even called ecstasy. There's one drug that's called ecstasy. And you take this and you're complete ecstasy for some time. So, because it gives you some pleasure, some certain pleasure. So love is like this. When you get hit, you're like, oh, everything is nice. They say in German, you say, du hast die rosarote Brille auf, oder? No? They say like this. Du siehst überall nur Herzchen. Terrible. I hate this, when someone, these emojis and just this heart. And I don't want to be too general, but I think girls do this more, They send Herzchen. No, if a boy sends Herzchen, it's always a bit weird, I must say. Maybe nowadays not anymore, but I find it a little bit weird. Anyway, you see everywhere this heart. Oh, hearts. Oh, I'm in love. And it completely messes you up, for some time. It's interesting. It's a whole chemical stuff. I don't know what it is. It doesn't last very long either. It's for a short time. But what is in this situation when you're hit by this arrow of Cupid? It's amazing how conscious you are of the person you love. It's very natural to think about this person, and it gives you so much happiness, and you think about your beloved, and you're completely conscious of this beloved. And everyone has had this experience sometimes, or sometimes we have it often, because then it stops, and we say, I don't like you anymore, and you take another one. You want to have it again. This is why people change partners so often, because this is what they want. And that what comes afterwards, the whole, normal life with this person now is sometimes very difficult. So also for devotees, they have to be very careful with whom they fall in love. Because we have very high standards. Because we say if you fall in love, that's it. You have to marry for the rest of your life. So then when all these feelings go away and suddenly you say, oh my God, I don't know. Not sure anymore. But if everything is done nicely, of course it's good to fall in love. You have to hold the romantic, this and that, and then the normal life comes. But the point I want to make is when you fall in love, you're completely conscious of this person. Easily. And Prabhupada, why I'm speaking so much on this, because Prabhupada gives this example very often and compares this, exactly that, the falling in love of a boy and a girl, which is very natural, with falling in love with Krishna. This is very similar in one sense. It's very similar. And how do you fall in love with a girl or a boy? When you have contact. It's really true. If you don't have any contact, no knowledge of the person, you cannot fall in love. Right? But if you have contact, you fall in love. Same way, when you have contact with Krishna, you will fall in love with him. And these devotees in Vrindavan, they show what it means to be in love with Krishna. That they are completely surrendered, they only think about him, they serve him, they know nothing but Krishna. And in the Shikshastakam, it's even said that 1 second is for us like a millennium. Nimeshena. Nimesha means like a second, like a very small moment. It's like a yuga, nimeshena. Yugaitam nimeshena is it. 1 second of separation with Krishna is like a whole yuga. It's unbearable. So these devotees in Vrindavan, they show us what does it mean to love Krishna. So, and especially the contact with these devotees helps us to develop our love for Krishna. So contact with Krishna, contact with these devotees, and we will develop this love also. Right? So if you want to love Krishna, we have to have this association with the devotees. Those devotees. So how do we have association with these devotees? We read Bhagavatam, Krishna book. It's very easy. So this is our sadhana. This is Raga Marga. This is the path to develop the love. This is called Raga Marga. And of course the chanting of the holy name in this mood. And of course the worship of the Lord in this mood. So we have to adopt this mood. And then such devotees who are serious in that, very not quickly, it depends, of course, but in time develop this real attachment to Krishna, where they really say, Krishna is most important for me, more important than anything else. But we are not there. Maybe some of you are, maybe some not. And how is it shown that we are not there? Yeah, that we have other interests than Krishna. Right? Other interests. If other things are more interesting to you than Krishna, how is it shown? Especially, it's shown when you have the freedom to do whatever you like. Some things we have to follow, especially as sadhakas, 16 rounds. Everyone chants 16 rounds, yes. So if your 16 rounds are done, if your whatever duties you put yourself on you for developing love of Krishna, which is very good, is done, what you do then? Yeah. It's interesting because sometimes we really think, oh, I did everything, fine, and now do what I like. Now do what I like. Yeah, and that means, okay, our sincerity or love for Krishna is already there a bit because we're serious in our sadhana, but it's not all the way through because a devotee likes only that what Krishna likes and still likes to engage with Krishna. And he would not stop chanting Krishna's name because he wants to be with Krishna. He would not stop reading about Krishna, hearing about Krishna, praying to Krishna because he's really interested in Krishna. So we might not be there, but at least some intellectual understanding should be there. Oh, if I would force myself a bit against my material attachment and desires, I really would get closer to Krishna. And if I hear about Krishna and Krishna Loka and him and his personality and understand he's real, this is not just some mythological person, it's not some abstraction or a personification of some impersonal force or whatever. No, he's real like this. And I could be with him, I could talk with him, I could dance with him, I could play with him, I could be there with all his friends and devotees. I could be in Vrindavan, I could run around Govardhan Hill and jump into Radhakund and do all that, what devotees do. And you would really think, I could really be there? I could really do that? That must be amazing, that's great. Okay, I should be a bit more serious about how to get there, which means I take my sadhana more serious. I don't waste time and chant more and this and that. But this is the problem that we don't really believe in that. Our faith is very weak. If we would have complete conviction, faith, we would be very eager to chant the holy name. Because we know I could go to Krishna with this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I would be eager and chant a lot and all that. And compare your eagerness for Krishna with your eagerness for other things. Like yesterday I bought a new computer and I was researching this some time, and my eagerness was very great to get this new computer. Yeah? And I did everything to get it. And I ordered it and I'm waiting for it and all that. But I do this especially because I know I can have this computer. If I would think this computer, I can never reach that, it's too expensive or whatever, you wouldn't do anything for it. But just the thought, oh, I could have that, makes it very practical of doing what is necessary. So we should really think, I could be with Krishna, I could have love for Krishna, I could be Krishna conscious. Okay, then I see it's worth to invest in reaching this goal, right? So that means faith, that we have real faith, that we really believe in Krishna and his world and Vrindavan and all that, and that we can be there. And then we say, oh, it's worth to invest in that and to be more serious in my devotional life. And this would reflect in all aspects of my life, especially also in my association with devotees. Because then you understand, every devotee is very valuable to Krishna. Krishna loves every devotee. Yeah, and I should be very attentive and very friendly to all the devotees, very humble, servant of the devotees. Krishna would not like that. Sorry, Rajajan, for yesterday being not so nice to you. Actually, I was thinking I think I was a bit rude. Yes. So all of us, we have our problems. Yeah, we should be very humble towards devotees, serving them, asking, how can I serve? What can I do for you? I'm your servant, Not, you are my servant. How can you let me wait so long? It's different, right? I serve you, right? I should serve you. So this brings us, of course, we are almost done, to the day of today, which is a very important day. Many, many things happened on this day, but for us especially important is, of course, so-called Govardhan Puja, which is a very wonderful pastime where Krishna is in the center. And there are many things to tell, but one point is very nice in this Leela, which makes it especially attractive. Normally, Krishna is only with some of his group of devotees at a time, where, of course, it mixes also a bit. Like in the morning, like in the late morning, so to say, he is with his mother. Mother Yashoda wakes him up, takes care of him, gives him everything he needs, some breakfast, isn't it? Then in the pre-noon, he's with his friends. He goes to milk the cows. Noontime, he comes back and takes prasadam. No, boga. He takes boga. Krishna can take boga. Very easy for Krishna. For us, is it prasadam or boga? It's always very difficult. We cannot freely eat whatever we like. Krishna can. So, and then in the afternoon with his friends, nighttime with the gopis, and it's very separated, especially with the gopis, very separated, because no one knows that. There's also a secret, that Krishna has amorous pastimes with the gopis, especially with Radharani. Nobody knows that. Only few, of course the gopis know that, but from other devotees, only few of his boyfriends, of his sakas know that. And they are called Namada Priya sakas. They are very special sakas. So if you want to become a saka, but still don't want to miss out on Madhurya, this is the way to go. Because sometimes we are in this conflict, especially the boys. Because when we are... Anyway, we cannot think too much about spiritual identity in our material situation. But still, we hear that Madhurya is the highest. But we can, as boys especially, easily identify with the sakas. Yeah, and we say, oh, Saka is nice, but I have to do this, kind of, Something. So you have both, Namada Priya Saka, have both. Yeah. So, so nobody knows that, even though Mother Yashoda, because every morning Srimati Radharani comes to their house, from her house. And actually Srimati Radharani comes not from her house, but from the house of her husband, Abhimanyu. And there she lives with Chatila and Kutila. Chatila is her mother-in-law. And when you read Krishna's pastimes, she is like the anti-hero, especially Chatila and the sister-in-law, Kutila. They are like always the little bad ones. Abhimanyu also. So she goes to the house of Yashoda to cook for Krishna, which is already a little bit special. But why is it? Because she got once this blessing by, I think it was Durvasa Muni, that whatever she cooks is nectar. And when Mother Yashoda heard that, and Mother Yashoda wants to have only the best for Krishna, she immediately said, you have to cook every day for Krishna. So it's very, very wonderful. Radharani goes in the morning time with all her friends to the house of Krishna. Mother Yashoda greets them, hugs them. It's not that in the spiritual world they only love Krishna. They love also each other. They have very, very wonderful relationships, perfect Vaishnava relationships they have. And Mother Yashoda, so then Radharani goes in the kitchen and she cooks the most wonderful things. That's why when we go to kitchen, when we cook, we pray to Radharani. Tapta kanchana gorangi, radya vrindavaneshwari, vrishabhanu sutidevi pranamami hari priya. When before you cook, there's a big picture. It's still there, right, in the kitchen. Right? It's a big picture of Radharani. Because she cooks, we're just serving her. We pray that we can, to please Krishna. It's very nice, smooth, very conscious. So, and then she cooks the most amazing things with her friends, and Rohini is there. Rohini serves, it's said Rohini. It's not always like this, but often Rohini serves. she comes out and serves. And who is sitting there on this big table? Krishna with all his friends. They came right now back from the cow stable. They milked the cow, and now they come back for noon prasadam. Nanda Maharaj sits in the middle. Krishna and Balaram left and right. And all the friends. And all these most amazing preparations come out. And they eat and have fun and all that. And Radharani, it said, just from the corner of her eyes, it said a sidelong glance. No? Kripa Kataksha. There's a Kripa Kataksha stotram. You know Kripa Kataksha stotram? It's a stotram, like a prayer, for the merciful sidelong glance of Srimati Radharani. It's a very nice prayer, actually. So because she doesn't look, oh, what is Krishna doing? It would be too obvious. She only looks from the side, what is he doing? Does he like it, this and that? And Krishna knows that Radharani looks at me. They have this amorous relationship, but it's a secret. So Krishna also looks, she's looking, she's looking. And then Krishna takes something what she cooked, and he tastes it, and Radharani looks, oh, does he like it? Is he, she looks at his face if he's pleased with it, and she becomes very happy. And Krishna eats it and says, ugh, this is terrible. This is so terrible. I cannot eat that. And then the Gopas say, oh, what is it, And they taste it and say, this is the most amazing thing. How can it? It's the most amazing. So this is Krishna. Always teasing, no? Teasing her. No. This is a loving exchange. But what I wanted to say in regard to Govardhan pastime, normally it's quite separated, yeah. But then when Krishna lifts the hill and everyone takes refuge under the hill, they're all together for 7 days. That's what the acharyas say, that is very special, because 7 days they're all together with Krishna without interruption. Because normally I said, Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishaitam shunyaitam chagatsaram govinda vyare. Yeah, in the absence of Krishna, the whole universe becomes void. There's no purpose at all for a devotee. You separate from Krishna. Even a moment is like one yuga. So Mother Yashoda, when Krishna goes to the forest, she's like suffering. But of course, it's Vipralamba rasa, right? They are in the spiritual world. It's all the time Sambhoga and Vipralamba. It always changes back and forth. It's very wonderful. And Vipralamba is very intense, the feeling of separation of Krishna. Yeah? Liebeskummer, you say Liebeskummer. And when Krishna goes to the forest, she runs after him, please stay at the house, don't go, no, you have to do something. And they have to argue with her, mother, we will come back in a couple of hours, it's all fine. But still you have to take this, and Balaram, look at him, watch him and give him this to eat, and like complete motherly affection. Like mothers are like this. They always care for the child. Yeah. So it's separated, and when Krishna leaves in the morning, the kunjas, after he was dancing and playing with the gopis, especially Radharani the whole night, they also get separated for the day, and then they experience Vipralamba, which is actually very nice, but still, in the 7 days under the Govardhan hill was 7 days Sambhoga. Everyone could be 7 days together with Krishna without interruption. And under this Govardhan hill, you might think, oh, he lifted the hill. And what do you find when you lift like a big stone from the grass? Yeah, there are all these ants and bugs, and yeah, it's not nice. Not nice. Yeah? But it said when Krishna lifted the hill, everything was perfect. Nice grass and green and rivers and water, and it was like paradise, something like this. He manifested that. It was very, very beautiful, so that they could stay 7 days there together, which was then a very wonderful union with all. And he was standing there, of course, with the left hand, the pinky of his left hand, lifting the whole Govardhan. And so many things happened in this time, and everyone was watching Krishna beautifully standing there, even playing his flute, and everyone just amazed to see Krishna. Yeah, so these devotees, they are in full love with Krishna. They don't want to see anyone else but Krishna. They have complete realization about him. They understand he's the most wonderful, the best, and why choose anything else? So we learn to follow in the example. We hear about their great love for him, and also with time, this will color off on us, and we will also amazingly and truly develop love for Krishna. And we will understand what it means. In the beginning, it's just words. Bhakti, prema, love for Krishna. It's just words. We have no relation to it. We have not experienced it. But with time, we experience it. This is love for Krishna. Oh, this is Krishna. It's a revelation. Yeah. And such a devotee is very serious and very advanced and wants nothing else but that and takes his spiritual life very serious because he knows what he wants and he knows who Krishna is. Hare Krishna. 9 o'clock. So any question, anything to add, mention, something? Okay, Kripa Sindhu.
Thank you very much. You mentioned a little bit this topic, whether we should worship or we are supposed to worship Krishna or Narayan. So this thing I wanted to ask or maybe comment on this is, suppose even if we try to go into the direction of Vishnu, Narayan, opulence, even if we do that, is it then correct that even if we try maybe even hard, that Krishna kind of corrects us and shows us, that's, but from you I want the other thing.
Depends on your relationship with Krishna. I cannot say. I think it's very individual because we see devotees who go in this direction and it's fine for them and they would not like to do anything else. It's very individual. If you have such experience and think, I was thinking about Narayan and felt some attraction, found nice, but still Krishna dragged me back, might be. Depends on your personal relationship with him, I would say. I don't know if there's any principle like this or no. This is when this happens. Yeah. Because
sometimes it's also heard we should be careful. We should worship Krishna because otherwise then we go to Goloka Vrindavan. We have to be careful because otherwise we go to Vaikuntha. That could be dangerous.
If you would follow a real sadhana to go to Vaikuntha, then you go to Vaikuntha. It's not that you just. Then we wouldn't be allowed to read the Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam is full with stories of Narayan, of Vishnu appearing, this and that, right? It's so, how? No. It's the general sadhana and it's initiation. Yeah? When you're initiated in this sampradaya and you follow the principle of this sampradaya, that what Prabhupada gave, the path is clear. Yeah. So it's not so easy that you just make one prayer to Vishnu, have some appreciation for Vishnu and suddenly, I go to Vaikuntha. We are in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, we are followers of Srila Prabhupada, we chant Hare Krishna, we read his books, we are set on this path to go to Goloka Vrindavan. Of course, if you, as I said, change, so to say, the sadhana, of course, then you go to Vaikuntha. The sadhana is like the path, and Vaikuntha Goloka is like the goal. If I go on the freeway, on the highway to Berlin, where do I go? Not to Munich. Huh? Yeah. So because it's a big topic, but shortly, because to think like that might lead also to offenses. Because you think, only Krishna is my goal and the other things is bad. This is not good. And I heard some devotees say like this. No, Bhagavad Gita, this is too, opulent, too much jnana. We want just sweet Krishna in Vrindavan. Yeah, this is like an aspect of sahajaism. Yeah, so this is not good. So we should understand all aspects of Krishna, all forms of Krishna, but doesn't mean that we neglect the worship of Krishna. Yeah, we know what we want, but we have appreciation for all forms of Krishna, for everything actually. This is more mature understanding. Yeah. Okay, good. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I wish you a wonderful day today in Krishna consciousness. Enjoy the wonderful prasadam which is sold today and buy a lot. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.